My name is Penda Faal and I'm a casting director.
My name is Denise Hoff and I'm a casting director for Pepper Casting.
I think I'm a very outspoken person and creative, and I love people.
I would say that I have a entrepreneurial spirit, if you could call it that. I also love getting to know new people. I traveled a lot and I grew up different places, and I love to see the nuances between cultures and also the common ground we all share.
My mom and dad are from Gambia, so I grew up with the Gambian culture pretty much. And I also lived with my grandmother in Gambia when I was younger. And yeah, it was, what can I say, typical African upbringing mostly. But yeah, I grew up my senior years in a Norwegian family here. So I have a bit of both.
Well, I started, as I said, my years here, and we moved to Spain. My mom is Nigerian and my dad is Norwegian. So you could say I kind of took a bit of each place, so a bit Norwegian, a bit of Spanish, and a bit of the Nigerian culture with me. How I would describe my upbringing is, I would say it's a good mix, yeah.
Our mothers used to hang out together when we were younger, so we actually grew up together.
Yeah.
I went to so many different schools that I can't keep count, but I would say I had a pretty social. I've always been outgoing, so yeah, making new friends, even though I moved a lot, has never really been an issue. But it's helped me, I think, to become a more adaptable person.
I would say we kind of share that in common, because I can't remember how many schools I went to. I've gone to boarding school in Spain. I've gone to public school in Spain. My primary school was in Spain. And then when I moved to Norway, I would say it was, I felt like it was very different to go to school here. It's a different structure, a different way of learning. It was a lot stricter in Spain. When you've changed school so much and you had to make new friends, it kind of helps you build strategies to get to know people fast and to see, okay, this works, this doesn't work.
It just makes you more open for people with different backgrounds, because you've had to adjust and also adapt yourself. I took my bachelor in acting in London. I went to Folkehøyskole, where I also studied
College?
Drama and theater. And yeah, the rest is self-taught.
Yeah. I actually never went to a university. I started working pretty early, and also I loved working. So for me, coming into the movie industry, it was actually by coincidence. I came in actually to work with you. Yeah. And since then, I think it was because it was a busy period in your life and you just needed a helping hand. And I loved it. I really loved it. It was so busy, so many things were happening at the same time. You got to meet so many people. Yeah, it was great.
It was. My grandparents, I should start with, came here in the 60s. First my grandfather came, and then he brought my grandmother. So my dad was born in Gambia, but the rest of the family, apart from one of my aunties, were born here in Norway. So when he met my mother, she was in Sweden, and they fell in love, and here we are. But my grandfather came with a fishing boat.
My mom actually met my dad in Nigeria. He was there for work. And they fell in love, and he decided and she decided together that, it was time to leave and come back to Norway. And here I am.
I have a daughter that's 11 years old, and I'm lucky enough to have all my, my grandmother is still here. I have a lot of aunties and uncles there.
It's me, my 2 kids, and their father. So we live here in Stavanger, and actually I only have my mom from the African side of the family here in Norway, and I have my 2 2 from my mom's side and 1 from my dad's side, siblings, and as well as the rest of the Norwegian family back in Trondheim.
But I happened to stumble into this business when I was 18 or 19 years old. Started doing a few jobs then as an assistant, and then I just liked it. It was fun, and it was, you never knew what was the next project, and then I continued doing it for a few years as a hobby, and then we ended up doing Lykkeland together, and from there we just it was a team.
I think we thought about it for 1 year because we're also so close as friends, and it's like, okay, how is that going to work, being close friends and also working together? But it actually worked out pretty well, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
It did. And also it was, we decided to make it like pepper casting because we saw a need for it.
I clearly remember myself that when I was younger, and you would watch Disney or you would watch anything on TV, and we didn't feel that we were represented enough in the roles we wanted to see ourselves represented as.
Only typecasted.
Yeah.
And I remember having so many discussions with fellow actors or producers, and they say that, but we don't know of any black or with different minorities, and I'm like, but that's not true. There are so many of my friends that are actors or people that I know of, but they don't get the chance. We kind of wanted to do something about it, and then we found out that if we're supposed to have a voice, we need to do it ourselves.
We need to be a part of the process to actually be able to impact it somehow. We did go a couple rounds a few times with some customers, because we do demand, like, if there is specific requirements for how the person looks, it needs to be because it's relevant for the story.
If they are right for the role, then they should get the role, unless they come with a very good historical point. But I think the challenge also in Norway is that right now, or say for the last couple of years, it's been a trend. It's like, we've ticked that box. Okay, we put one from this country in this advert, or one from this country, and that's not sustainable. It's about giving equal opportunities. So that is an ongoing.
It's ongoing.
It's an ongoing topic.
If the roles that are being written, and there's more diversity between the people that write the roles and the people that get funding to make movies with different backgrounds, I think that will change. So I think it starts there, and when there are more diverse stories that are allowed to come out, you will see a more diverse cast as well.
We were like, what name are we going to be? We need to be something, but not too obvious. Like, we weren't going to be like black casting. Do you know what I mean? But we were like, okay, pepper. Pepper is nice because pepper comes in different colors, right? You have white pepper, you have black pepper, you have red pepper, you have...
And it's just a little extra.
And it's just that little extra. And we are...
We are extra.
We are extra. That's our
I'm
African
proud of
side.
it. I'm proud of it.
That's our African side, you know?
Do you remember when we were on our way to
Amanda Film Festival?
We were on our way, and we were telling each other, like, okay, maybe we should try to, tone ourselves down, because everyone is not as loud as we are. Maybe we're a bit much. So we're used to it in a way, because you adapt to your surroundings. People that don't have the same background as you, you could be perceived as louder or taking more space.
We had a serious talk on the bus. We were like, we need to calm down. We need to be calm. And when we came there in the award ceremony, we looked
My
around
God.
and then we just pinched each other like, oh
We
my
were the
God,
only
we're the
ones.
only black people here. Oh my God, okay, we need to really behave, okay? Behave,
Now.
you know?
Yeah,
And then
oh my
we
God.
came to the party and
And
it
it
was
was-
all so civil and, you know, everyone was like, hello, how are you?
And they were playing good music.
And they were playing good music, so we started, you know, one shoulder started, then the next, and then we just ended up
Yeah,
like...
we just had to let loose. And you know
Let
what?
loose
The
on the
party
dance
was so
floor.
much better because of it.
Yeah,
Everyone
and then
just...
everyone joined in.
They joined in.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
That was great.
We have a lot of competition, and Oslo is the capital, which means that most of the productions are over there.
Yeah.
And they use their own, right? But I think we've kind of made our way and shown that we are able to do the same and deliver at the same level as the Oslo companies. A lot of productions still use us, even though they're in Oslo.
Yeah. It validates us
Yeah.
quite a bit because they take the extra step to contact us in Stavanger instead of using the people in Oslo. And I also think they know that we will always present who's best for the role. And we will say no to certain jobs just because, okay, if it doesn't make sense to us, if we don't think this is the right thing to do, not that we want to decide because that's not, it's not our job, but it's our job to present the people that are best. And we have a say.
We have a say.
Yeah. They know by now that we will present good candidates and diverse candidates. I think it's the belief in ourselves.
Yeah.
I think we know we can, and that's why we do it.
We know what we're good at.
Yeah.
We know that we go the extra mile, and we are constantly, like, you know, researching, learning new things about ourselves and about the business, but we're curious by nature, and that, I think, is a great plus to keep us evolving.
Yeah. The latest one we did now was for Viaplay, and it was Premier League. Not too long before that, I think it was DHL.
And Volvo International.
Yeah.
Equinor, yeah. Some of them are, and Accor, for example, was a full production a TV series that we casted called Stolthet og Faal, where we found the lead actors as well as the extras and minor roles. So that was one of our biggest productions when it comes to full casting, as in, series.
Yeah, in the
Drama
drama series, yeah. And for Netflix, I mean, we did the extras casting for the 2 first seasons for Ragnarok.
And also Vikingene.
Vikingene, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're all arounders, so we do a mix of everything. We've done documentary.
We've done short films.
Yeah, we've done music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A plus for us and for our clients is that they know that we've kind of branched out a bit, so we have experience from different fields.
If you think about the documentary type of casting, not many people use casting for doing a documentary. So we were really lucky to have the opportunity to do that and do a bit of a more journalistic, investigative type of work, and also using our background as a casting agency. It really helped. Yeah.
You can be technically very good, but if there's no, as we say in theater, there needs to be a truth in what you do, even though you're playing a part. If I can't see that connection through, if it's a camera, then we also get very strict, like, you know, we want it to be like this, we want it for the person to hit, for example, this emotional level, or there's different criteria for each role.
Yeah.
So
and also the people that you cast, depending on what production you're on, they have to work well together. So it's not always the fact that you did it. Sometimes you did a great job, but it just didn't match with the rest of the group. A no doesn't mean always a no to you.
A no, you need to think is next.
Next.
We always say that to our younger actors, aspiring actors, is that don't take it personally.
Yeah.
like she said,
New
it's
opportunities
like
come.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a huge puzzle.
When we started the business, at least for me, I would say, we started the same month I gave birth to my son. So the first year, I had him with me every meeting.
Yes.
So that was challenging, but also, you know, it got me ready and more like motivated to keep going, because I'm thinking, okay, if I can do this and bring this child with me during the first year, I mean, I'm here to stay.
What's been challenging, especially locally, is that people are so used to doing the casting process themselves. So they want the professionalism that we can offer, but they don't want to pay for it.
So our success, I would say, is
problem.
mostly people outside of Stavanger.
Yes.
So I think people know us and use us much more outside of Stavanger than they do here. One, it's also the budgets they work with, you know, and that is, it's not always something...
smaller budgets, but at the end of the
budgets.
day, if they really want the professionality that they ask for, then it needs to be professional in every aspect of the making of the product.
In the movie industry in general, and especially if you come from a smaller place, people tend to have many hats. And usually, if you really want the movie business to grow in your community, you need to give some hats back, because you can't do it all and you can't be great at everything.
Hope and the tools to hopefully, you know, be what's it called? To have belief in themselves that, you know what, it is possible. You have to work for it though, but it is possible. And as long as you have the talent and the motivation to keep going, then the door is open.
Yeah. And always ask yourself the question, why not me?
Yeah.
Why not?
And also it's we hope that it's, I mean, our office is a bit of a safe space.
Yeah.
You know, if they have questions or anything, they can, I don't know how many times we've helped like students that are like, oh, we have this audition, I know, like, we don't have money, and we're like, no, just come.
I would say it's word of mouth. People recommend us. Yeah. We haven't really, I would say, to be honest, broadcasted ourselves very much. And in the movie industry, it is like that. I mean, if people like working with you, if they like the work you do, they would recommend you. And sometimes even it's not through a production company. Sometimes it's a brand themselves that contact us.
Directly, and then they tell us what they're looking for, and we, then we start our process, which is finding the right candidates and, having auditions, self-tapes.
I mean, if it depends on the customer, but some customers maybe don't have that much experience in using a casting agency, so they really are curious about how we work, and they're curious about how they should work in order to work well with the casting agency. So sometimes we help them fine-tune a little bit, or
offer a very low pay for a professional actor, and we have to be like, oh, no, you have to follow the rates. I mean, the Actors Union, for example.
Because we do work for the production company or for the production service or, you know, for that side. But also we have a responsibility. We do. And we want to be fair to the people that do this for a living. And actually borrow their being for the screen.
And their time.
Yeah.
It costs a lot to put yourself out there. So the least we can do is kind of, you know, stand up for them if we see something that's not right.
So you guys get paid from the production company, not from the actor?
No, we're not agents.
Money from the actor.
But do you get credit from the actor?
If we were agents, we could have taken a percentage. But because we're not agents, anyone can sign up with us for free. And
also there's a conflict of interest sometimes if you're an agent. I mean, there are some casting agencies that work as agents for certain actors and also have a casting agency. But it can get messy because you are representing the actor at the same time as you're representing the customer. And for the customer's sake, you want to give them diversity. You don't want to be loyal to certain people.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to give them the best person.
Of course, many of the young ones are very grateful, but also some of our, you know, what can I say?
Like in Stolte of Faal.
Yeah, they're not maybe like professionally trained, but they have a lot of experience, and we've kind of kept pushing them to go for certain roles. And when they land those roles, it's just
They call us,
amazing.
they
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
us, we have a
They
chat.
call us about their next audition
Yeah.
somewhere else, and be like, oh.
And that's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just in recent years actually that casting has been acknowledged as the important job.
Because
it is.
it's a creative job.
Yeah. So now I don't know exactly how many years ago that the first award for casting, best casting, came.
Yeah.
So it's actually
It's new.
Yeah, it's
new. And I would say that if you put a different person in that film, the film is different.
Yeah.
It's not the same film anymore. So you remember the actors in the film. It's good that it's getting more recognition now, and that it's been taken more seriously and given the recognition I think it deserves. Oh, we have talked.
We've talked about it. We have some plans.
Yeah.
We hope so. We would
I
like
mean,
to do
Africa's
that.
a totally different market. That's the first.
Yes.
I mean, Nollywood, it's different. We don't, we haven't been in that market. So I think for us, it's important to really see how that market works, because I would say it's very different from country to country, how it's organized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But it's getting bigger and bigger.
It is, definitely. And we would love to be part of that kind of,
course.
rise that's
Yeah.
happening, because it is. I mean, look at South Africa and different parts of Africa that are producing so much now, and
They're
it's on
producing
Netflix, and
so
it's,
much.
it's really getting out there. For me, the challenge for me right now is that with my family situation and time frame, I don't have the possibility right now.
Yeah.
But it's
maybe later.
Maybe later.
Or if we expand and get some extra people to come and help us,
Yes.
maybe. But yeah, it has been a thought, because we grew up with Nollywood movies, seeing them in the old VH.
Yes.
with our parents, and it's it's good to see that now it's being presented to a bigger market, and then more people get to see that
and
type
more people
of
can feel relatable.
yes.
Right.
And get to know
yeah.
Africa and the people there in a way it's not just poor people and misery. Like there are lives going on there, and there's many exciting things and many exciting people, and they live many exciting stories. Yeah.
We did get a call from someone that had been doing movies in
Nigeria.
In Nigeria, and that came back here and wanted to start in the acting, start to get into acting and doing movies. So we invited the person in here and had a chat and told him, okay, you have to register first, and then told him about the process here, where he could join and so on.
Yeah.
So I think that's the closest.
I mean, it would be very interesting if you see Nollywood suddenly collaborating with the Scandinavian countries to make a movie. I mean, I think that would be great. It hasn't been done yet in that extent. So why not? Give us a call. Give us a call.